When I was a teenager, my new friend invited me to her family's house for a barbecue for lunch. And when I got there, there's no good way to lead up to this. I was sitting outside at their little picnic table spot and I was eating, and they had this cute cat that came up to cuddle with me or whatever, let me pet it, and I pet it for a little bit, and then I started eating my food, and it went around to my legs, and it peed on them. It was a boy cat, and he just sprayed all over my legs, but nobody noticed, and he just did it to me, I guess, and then he walked away, and it was a new friend, and I was, for some reason, scared. I didn't want to embarrass her mother. Like, I didn't want to upset the hostess by being like, hey, your cat peed on me. Can I go rinse my legs off in your shower or something? That's what I should have done. But I didn't. I just spent the rest of the day, because it was lunchtime, remember? And I spent the rest of the day with cat pee on my legs. And they still invited me back, even though I smelled like cat pee. Sometimes when I go to the grocery store and I do a big haul, the cashier will always say something like, ooh, do you have a big barbecue coming up? Are you planning a big party? And I'm like, no, this is just how I take care of myself. This is just how I eat. And my sister judges me for it when she comes to visit. She's 20. And she's always like, Kate, you can't just live off of fruit and cupcakes. That's no way to live life. And I'm like, you don't understand. I'm jaded and I'm tired. And when I bend my knees, they sound like a Yule log. And my metabolism feels like the only thing I have left going for me. And I'm only going to have that a few more years. So I'm just clinging to it as hard as I can. But she's always like, no, Kate, you need protein. That's not how she talks. She talks higher. She's always like, no, Kate, you need protein. And she's going to hate me for this. But she's big on cooking. She's big on protein and meat. And the last time I went to her apartment, she had all these frozen meats. And I said, where are your fruits and vegetables? And she said, they're in cans. Take your pick. And I was like, no. I said, that is unacceptable. I'm going to go to the grocery store to pick up some fresh produce. You may come if you like. And so she came. And as soon as we walked through the door, there's that deli with all the fancy cheeses. And she was just staring at the cheese. And she went, I love cheese. She was looking at the cheese like I look at Chris Evans in a fall sweater. I was like, oh man, she wants to just drop that wrapping on the floor and lick that cheese. So I told her, just grab a cheese then. And she was like, really? She got so excited. She spent like 12 minutes picking the cheese. But I didn't realize how expensive the fancy deli cheese was until we got to self-checkout, which, by the way, is a scam, and I feel like I'm the only one who knows it. I've been a cashier before. Self-checkout is them tricking you into doing their job. Like, I'm not going to take a job away from a perfectly healthy 15-year-old. It used to be good because the line was shorter, but then all the old people figured out how to use self-checkout, and now it's the longest line. Something always rings up wrong, so you have to get a cashier's help anyway, and it's a scam, and it's stupid. But we went there, we rung up the cheese, and I was like, damn, this must be the Beyonce of cheeses, because it costs like roughly as much as a small island. Not like a cheap small island, but a fancy one with a mansion and a ramp for your plane. Oh, we went back to my sister's apartment. My dad was in town, so we invited him over for dinner, and my sister put her fancy cheese in the middle of the table. She was very excited, and my dad used like half the cheese on his meat and potatoes. And my first thought was, Dad does not love us anymore. He is deliberately trying to clog his arteries with cheese. He is tapping out. But my sister knows his thought process a little bit better than I do, and so she just looked at him and very calmly was like, Dad, did you think that the cheese was butter? And he went, yeah.
I, 30 male, pissed my wife, 27 female off, and now she wants me to do everything. To begin, when I met my now wife, she had about $9K in credit card debt. She grew up in poverty, got her first credit card, and got into financial trouble with it. She told me about it pretty early on in the serious phase of our relationship, and even told me about her plan to fix it. Showed me her budget and had a time frame. To her credit, she did it. That was 5 years ago. We're now married with twins. She's a stay-at-home mom, but receives about $1,000 per month in VA disability and cleans houses part-time while our kids are in school. The $1,000 goes entirely to our mortgage, plus some of the money that she makes cleaning houses because she likes to put extra on the principal. So she has her own spending money. We do have one credit card, mine, of which she is an authorized user. I do stay vigilant about the card because I guess I never really let myself trust her with money. On to the problem. I noticed earlier this week, after years of good financial decisions and fiscal responsibility on her part, that the credit card seemed higher than normal. My wife hadn't mentioned anything, and I hadn't seen anything expensive coming into the house. So I was shocked. shocked to see charges from GameStop, grocery store charges outside of her normal shopping trip, a salon, Walmart, a movie theater, and Amazon. It came out to about $600, and I immediately realized she had a relapse. I confronted her in the kitchen while she was putting together something for our kids' class, and I admit I laid right into her. She agreed. She had messed up, would return everything, and give me back the credit card. I thought this was an admission of guilt, which made me even more angry and demanded to know how much she spent on these Halloween goodie bags she was putting together because it looked expensive, and I didn't see why we would spend so much on first graders. And she said only $15 since she got everything at the dollar store. She told me that everything had been returned, and now I was in charge of the birthday party, the birthday presents, and the Christmas shopping, and the class Christmas party contribution, since I didn't trust her to do those things. Turns out all those charges were for the kids' birthday and birthday party at the movie theater. Christmas shopping she had actually finished for everyone we usually buy for, and even the salon charges were for our son's haircuts. Now she's returned everything, and even has told me grocery shopping is also my job now. I can't handle all that. I didn't even remember it was my kids' birthday soon. How do I fix this so we can go back to how it was? I've already groveled, and she just says I apparently have 5 years of groveling to do if all I've been waiting for is the other shoe to drop, when she's been nothing but exemplary when it comes to finances in all this time. Help, please.
Wow.
I have 2 daughters named Kate, 23 female, and Alexa, 16 female. For starters, Kate lives with me rent-free and bill-free. She used to live with her mother full-time, but her mom kicked her out when she was 18. I don't blame her mother, though. Kate was absolutely terrible in her teenage years. She was rude, disrespectful, and would steal, smoke, skip class, etc. Kate barely finished high school and was put in continuation school. Since this, though, Kate is doing a lot better. She didn't want to go to college, but she works at a fast food restaurant and is saving up for her own apartment. Alexa, on the other hand, is the opposite. She's amazing in school, works, volunteers, and still has time to do sports and clubs. I'm extremely proud of her, and I feel as if she was too much pressure on herself. Me and my girlfriend decided to surprise her on a vacation. Alexa has always wanted to go there, and it wasn't as pricey as we expected. We planned this in early October. I told Kate about the vacation and asked if she wanted to come, but she would have to pay for her own ticket. She said yes and would give me the money before Halloween. Well, she never gave me the money, even after being reminded. So I booked the trip November 1st for the 18th to the 21st. I told my daughter this Sunday at dinner, and she was very excited. Kate then said, "You'll have to cancel and hope they refund. I work those days." I told her that she wasn't coming since she didn't pay. She was confused and thought I was paying for her. I told her that she was an adult who worked and lived free. Why would I pay? She got upset and said that because I'm her daughter and that I was paying for Alexa, so why not her? An argument then happened, which resulted in Alexa and Kate crying and Kate saying that she hated me. Kate has been ignoring us until we apologize and pay for her ticket, which I won't. Well, yesterday Alexa sent me a link to a video on TikTok where it shows Kate crying and explaining the situation. But she lied about a lot of things in the videos and made Alexa and I look like the bad guys. The video got a lot of attention and support. She even opened up a GoFundMe where she received $500. I showed my girlfriend and we were both livid. Alexa was also very upset about the comments, which fueled my anger. When she came home, a huge argument broke out and I basically kicked her out for the week. She's been posting on social media platforms talking about me, my daughter, and my girlfriend. My daughter even got some nasty messages on her social media. My girlfriend told me I'm right on this, but my daughter told me that I should just pay for her ticket. So, am I in the wrong for refusing to pay for my daughter's plane ticket, but paying for my youngest daughter who this vacation is dedicated to?
Am I the asshole for not defending my boyfriend when my brother asked him to leave? My 28 female boyfriend, 27 male Ryan likes to help others. He's the type of guy who would give a coworker money for rent or groceries, but he can take it too far sometimes. He often tries to help people without asking if they actually want or need his help. Every year, my brother Paul and his wife Lily host a holiday dinner, and this year Ryan was coming. I told Ryan that Lily was legally blind and had been her entire life. So I told him to only help Lily if she herself asked for the help. We arrived early to help cook, and Ryan kept telling Lily things like, "Lily, if you're looking for the salt, it's to your right." Am I the asshole for not defending my boyfriend when my brother asked him to leave? She pulled out a knife to cut veggies, and Ryan asked if he could take over because he didn't want her to hurt herself. Lily said she'd be fine, but Ryan insisted, and finally Paul got annoyed and told Ryan to stop, but he kept hovering. I asked him to sit down and also reminded him of what I said earlier, but everything boiled over at dinner. My nieces 5 and 3 have a game they play with their mom where they hand her something and she guesses what it is. And sometimes she makes outrageous guesses just to make them laugh. But Ryan started loudly telling the kids what the items were. Paul demanded that Ryan leave, and Ryan insisted he was only trying to be helpful, but Lily said it was probably best if we left.
Am I the asshole for telling someone that I don't care about what triggers them? I, 15 female, am receiving punishment at school for telling another kid I don't care if my scars trigger them. I was attacked by a dog when I was 7 and now have scars on my arms and face. I used to cover them up by wearing hoodies and masks because I was insecure. Recently, I've started wearing less hoodies and more tank tops and t-shirts. Yesterday at school, some rando came up to me and said, "You should cover up your scars. They really trigger me." I immediately got upset, which I guess he could tell by my facial expression. I said I wasn't going to cover them up because my scars trigger them, and if he doesn't want to see them, don't look.